Welcome to the Seasons of Singleness podcast. I am your hostess with the mostest, Tiffany Sneebrose. Seasons of Singleness. Seasons of Singleness. Hey y'all. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to hold the mic because it wasn't trying to stay. I needed it to stay. But anyways, welcome back. I know. I just keep dropping bombs and then leaving y'all. None of that is gonna change. So you're here, have at it, okay? Yeah. So yeah, you know the saying, you fuck around, you find out. And baby, I found out.
What did you expect?
I found out. Okay. And it was so crazy. Like, I remember how I was feeling when I found out and everything. We were on our way to go and see. I was still working at after school at the time, still living in this man's basement. And I received a phone call. I was on my way to this movie. My colleague had got tickets for us to go see this movie premiere. Big movie here based off of the lives of young girls here in Baltimore City. So we went to this private screening, whatever. I remember like being on 83. I know I was on a highway or something. On the highway, I get a phone call, random number, whatever. And I answer, and the young lady on the other side is just like, hey, we've been trying to contact you, whatever. And I'm like, I answered the phone for you now. I would have answered earlier, like if someone was trying to contact me. She was like, yeah, no, your test came back and you have chlamydia.
You what?
Y'all, when I motherfucking say, me and my best friend laugh, like we we play around about like ending our lives. Granted, that's not funny, especially as a person who has had suicidal ideations, and who has a parent who died by suicide. So it's not a laughing matter. Okay, but we be laughing. Just to throw that out there. Laughing at ourselves, not at people. Laughing at ourselves. So it was one of them things like, people be playing, we play. Me and my friend, we play about, our 13th reason. And I was just like, you are fucking lying. Number one, I've never had any fucking like sexually transmitted disease outside of like BV. But BV is common as it pertains to this body any motherfucking way. Like, my vagina is so fucking sensitive.
Man up now, man up, nigga, man up.
Like, maybe it's just me. I'm a sensitive person myself. But my vagina is extra sensitive. Extra sensitive. I you just feel like being dirty. Like, you just not even feel like being dirty. It's just I'm not doing nothing today. I don't need to wash. No, if I don't wash, it's a fucking problem. Like, it's ridiculous. But anyway, all of that to say, right? I have a very sensitive V. So this happening made my relationship with my vagina like that more pertinent, I guess. No.
2 hours later.
It really made me think. Like, I had to take care of myself. I needed to do better because I do have this sensitive part. Like, and it's just like, it's too much. I can't like allow certain people in me.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
For lack of a better term. Because sis be acting up. I'm like, shit, I want to have a fucking hot girl summer and all that other shit. And I can't. I can't. And I'm sure there are some of you that are watching this that are just like, oh, well, you can use protection. I know that. I'm aware. Tell that to my homegirl. Like, no. No, I think for me specifically that is just one of the ways that I'm grounded and I stay close to God because no. Now don't get me wrong, it's not to say that I don't be out here when I need to be or when I feel the need or whatever, like if the occasion presents itself, it's not to say that I'm saying no all the time. Because there are some times where my flesh is weak.
So keep me lifted up in prayer.
But neither here nor there. I remember specifically like, and while I cannot, like to this day, I cannot say who I got this from.
Wait, what?
I remember 2 conversations, 2 feelings. I remember the first one was this guy, and I equated it to, because I was young and fucking dumb, I equated it to where he went to school.
Yeah.
I mean, if you know, you know. Like, yeah, they don't get me wrong. I ain't going to shout it out because it's already in the song. So, yeah. I was like, okay, whatever. But I remember instantly like my body feeling different afterwards. I think like after the last time, and I was just like, yeah, nah, I don't want to do this. So I stopped doing it. But then I remember having the second conversation with this young man that I was sexually active with a few times, and he was just like, I remember him questioning me specifically, like, "You never had anything?"
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
And I was like, "Nah." Like, and I get checked on the regular, so no. Which was also super, super confusing to me because I always go. Like, I'm always there. Even if I'm not fucking. Like, I just want to make sure my vagina ain't doing shit dumb. Because sis, you be doing too much sometimes. I love you, but you be doing the most. And yeah. So I remember him specifically asking me whether or not I've ever had anything. And I just looked at him like, what? Like, why would you even ask me that type shit? But it was like general conversation. So we're having conversation and it just came up. And I was just like, nah, I've never had anything. Fast forward to I want to say like 2 weeks later, me finding out whatever. I take the medicine, take the medication so that I could be done, whatever. I didn't cry my motherfucking eyes out. Because I'm just like, oh my God, how could I be so irresponsible? Like, this shit don't happen to me. Again, going back to what I was saying before about like really thinking that I was invincible. Like this shit don't happen to me type shit. And sure enough, it happened to you, baby sis. You're not above it all. But yeah, so that happened. And I remember going to his house, and I know where I had to pick up my medicine from. And I know the bag that I had to that they put it in. So when I get to his house, I see that same bag. Which could have meant anything, because all the fucking bags, you get medication from a pharmacy, you get the same fucking bag depending on which pharmacy you fucking went to. So it ain't had nothing to do with nothing. So I just didn't want to insinuate. Number one, I was very embarrassed at the fact that this thing happened. Granted, again, going back to what I was saying before about being graced for the comeback, like a lot of people get stuff they can't get rid of. Like, regardless of what the fuck it is or what the fuck it ain't, like, there are real things that are going around. People forget about certain shit. Like mono, I'm not a share my drink type of bitch, or I'm definitely not eating ice cream. We're not sharing certain things. Like, I don't want to do it. I barely want to kiss.
Ew! Get off of me!
So, as it pertains to this in general, it was just like, yo, I'm so careful. Like, this is me thinking in my mind. I'm so careful, even though I'm out here, right? Even though I'm out here in these streets, whatever, even though I'm limiting my exposure to people based off of timelines and all of this great shit, right? It still happened to me, regardless of what I did to prep myself, to not prep myself in that moment, regardless of how many times I done prayed after getting off a fucking dick.
Yeah. Whoa.
Like, no, it happened. It happened to me. And the sad part is it happens to so many individuals. Like, when people be saying like, oh, that 5 out of 10 people have XY, like that's those are true fucking stats. We sitting here fucking with people like without even necessarily like asking them, okay, how do you take care of yourself? Like, do you go to the doctor? Do you go get checked up? When's the last time you've been tested? And we so gone ho for the fucking talent show. We ready to hop on a dick or slob on somebody's knob. You don't even know that motherfucker. And again, it is not to say that you can't go out here and do what you want to do. Please, by all fucking means. But again, everybody's not graced with a comeback. And I am a walking testimony of that specifically. Okay. I thought that I would be okay by walking out here and doing what the fuck I wanted to do. And then to not even having a fucking conversation with the person, like whoever, right? Any of my partners.
Pussy.
At that time, what happened was once I found out, I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not talking to nobody. I ain't dealing with nobody. I ain't doing none of this shit. And I am just going to mind my motherfucking business. Like, celibacy wasn't a thing for me then. It was just, nah, I gotta focus. Nah, I gotta chill. Like, I'm not even setting myself up. I'm not putting myself in these situations to even get there. Like, my thing used to be happy hour. So I would go to happy hour and see whoever the fuck I needed to see. And at the end of the night, you know, text messages, all right, cool. I'll be over there. Or come pick me up, whatever type shit. Just whole shit. Just thinking about it. Just whole shit. God damn. Just wanted to be a whore. And again, ain't shit wrong with that. I'm not here to say like or to place judgment on exactly what it is that you do on your daily basis or what you do to have like fun for yourself. That's totally up to you. But let this lesson be a reminder that it can happen to you regardless of how many times you've been careful. It literally only takes one slip up. And for me specifically, like I be playing around and shit, but I really really as like that situation by itself really took me in. Like I was just like, nah. And don't get me wrong, it's not to say that I haven't slipped up and had raw sex with other people, because I have.
I didn't learn nothing.
I have. And again, like the only thing that I've been or I have contracted after as a result has been either pregnancy.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Or BV. And like even that, you know what I'm saying, like is something, because regardless of how common it is and it can be considered an STI or STD, Bacteria vaginosis is just fucking disgusting. Nobody want to walk around smelling like fucking fish all day. Like, that shit is disgusting.
Boo! You stink!
I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. And neither should you. Neither should fucking you. Like, regardless of what you have out here, I know TikTok or social media has made it a thing where they're like sharing their tips and tricks and all of that great stuff. And for people who have issues just like myself who get chronic BV, like, again, I get that shit from eating too many motherfucking sweets. And if you know me, I'm a sweet tooth girly. Like, I be eating popcorn, tasty cakes and shit. That's why.
Big bag, 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 big bag.
Yeah, but neither here nor there. It's really about for me specifically. I know that situation was a true eye opener for me. Like, I was just like, I have to be in a space where I know what exactly is going on in my body. Point blank, period. And I can honestly say that that situation did that. I was able, like, not even like, again, not saying that I did not step out and do whatever, because that still happens, still happened. It's really being intentional about your move. I say this all the time about moving with intentionality. If that's something that you're going to do, understand the risk, understand the cost, understand your livelihood could be affected and changed by this. And what that means for me specifically is, if I decide to go out with a new partner, with an old partner, hey, when the last time you've been tested? Do you mind sharing your results? Checking the mic. But yeah, like, what are your practices? How are you keeping yourself healthy? Like, what's happening? As a person who is listening to their body, I calm down the noise often through fasting and supplication. So I'm just like, me personally, how am I adhering to my body? Like, what are the things that my body is telling me to do? Do I need to stop eating sweets this week, or do I need to stop drinking, so that I can hear everything that's happening within my body from the inside out, right? So it has more to do than skincare or what you're consuming. It's everything to do with, like, what you're putting on, excuse me, what you're putting on, what you're taking in. Like, all of those things are contributing factors to you and your health overall. It's more than just exercise. It's more than just, oh, I need to do this because this is what is in right now. No, you need to listen to yourself, listen to your body, because your body's going to tell you. Like, and I think that's the one thing that we steer clear from or shy away from. It's like, we don't necessarily take the time to listen to ourselves. And we should. And we should. I, for one, would never understand someone. Well, I can't say that I'll never understand, because, yeah, I don't know. I can't speak to folks who have experienced those things and then didn't necessarily know. But I really, my heart really goes out to people who just say that they don't know certain things about themselves or they didn't feel. And I'm like, I don't know how not, because I know the work that I've done for myself and how that has translated to me feeling what I need to feel or getting over what I need to get over in these moments. I be honestly confused when people say they don't know certain things. Especially like when people say they didn't know that they was pregnant, or I didn't know that I had gout, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, your body tells you these things. And again, I'm not coming for anybody. I'm just saying, for me, it's very uncanny. That is an uncanny concept for me to understand, because of the things that I've gone through, my experiences with my own body, and how my body talks to me. And I have to be coherent enough to listen to exactly what it is that it's saying, that like really being attentive to my own needs in that way. And that experience itself, again going back to purpose, right, was needed so that I can understand my body more. Now granted, you know, could it have happened in a different way? Of course. Of course. I would have loved to learn that lesson in another way, but it was definitely needed. Again, thanking God for being graceful to come back so that I can have conversations with people about like, yo, this happens. Especially like people, you know, have these misconceptions of like how people look on the outside and they don't necessarily think that you can endure anything like this, and it ain't got shit to do with looks. Shit to do with looks. Like if anything, you know, it's again about knowing yourself. And I am a big stressor on whoever it is that I'm dealing with needs to have some level of understanding of exactly who they are. Because baby, I done did too much work to be fucking around with you. Like,
If you think I'm here to play around with y'all, god damn it, I'm not.
too much. And I don't have the time. I don't have the time. Again, me specifically, I don't have the time to go backwards to get certain things or to understand, help you do what you need to do. No, no, no. But yeah, like I wholeheartedly remember just really being embarrassed in that state. Like I couldn't even have a conversation with the two people that I assumed um that I assumed either gave me the disease or, you know, I contracted it from. And I went into the state of like, I'm cutting everybody off. Like I'm done. I'm a heal and I'm shutting the fuck up. Okay. And and it worked for a little while, you know. Worked for a little while until it didn't.